This video is made for adult collectors because Apelinq horrifically died. So, Yolopark is continuing the spiral of Rise of the Beast characters by being the first company to make an Apelinq figure. You know, the dude who died at the beginning of the movie. They do have a Mirage coming soon, which I am excited about, but as for right now, it's just this dude, part of their new AMK Pro X line, not the regular AMK Pro line, and this is $60 US. AMK Pro X, from my understanding, is going to be a fully painted, intricately detailed figure with like display bases, magnets, and so on. So a little bit different from the AMK Pro, and then obviously very different from the standard AMK series. And this was provided to me by Yolopark, and they have a wide range of different Transformers products and even more on the way. Cannot wait for that Age of Extinction Prime. With these being built like Bionicle style builds, and they range from 30 to 60 bucks, so you can check them out linked below, and if you use code toyguy at checkout, you'll save 5% off your first order, though that code is excluding Apelinq, unfortunately, but it does apply to like almost everything else. So thank you very much, Yolopark, for sending this my way. Now back to the actual toy. I just kicked my desk. This thing looks fantastic. The level of detail and the paintwork is nuts. The details are all extra accentuated because I've had Primal for so long, and he's like a standard AMK figure that has no paint outside of the silver sections they added. So holding Apelinq, it's such a big difference. There are so many scratches and scuffs. The battle damage looks real. The dry brushing and the black wash really come to life on the pieces of armor here. Speaking of the armor, he shares a lot with Primal. The skeleton is entirely the same, but half of the armor isn't, and all of it is made of a slightly softer material. Not sure why, but it does make the figure feel more dense and heavy. It's not that lightweight, thin stuff that Primal was made out of. What is new, though, looks very nice. I love the cannons on the shoulders, the scale-like arm guards, which are posable, by the way, and the blades. The blades are sick, though I do wish they could flip out a little bit more, like they did in the film. And they even dry brushed the hands. I love that. He comes with 2 open hands, 2 fisted hands that can hold Primal swords, a fully closed hand, and a pointing hand. He also comes with this massive slab of plastic. And again, the paintwork just doesn't stop at the figure. It goes all the way to the base. The details are so cool. It looks like one of those museum fake rock bases. Like, they did a pretty good job. The broken rotor on the ground, the buried pipe that leads to it, the ancient ruins looking base part really sells this as something that would exist on an age-old Maximal planet. And it has magnets in it, so Apelinq can stay standing on the base and not fall off. Like, they're pretty good magnets. Though part of me wishes the entire rock section had magnets under it, allowing you to position Apelinq anywhere on it as opposed to just 2 spots. Now, this is a pre-release copy. It came in a massive white box, but I don't know how far along this is in the release, but bits like to fall off. The shin armor falls off. Forearm armor falls off. Mullet falls off. His pee-pee, that definitely likes to fall off. It's really annoying because it makes me not want to pick this guy up, but I will be gluing all those bits on after I finish filming, so like, that solves the issue. These are meant to be built into posable figures, so a little bit of glue to fix that right up is not uncommon, I'd say. Love the head, the way it looks all beaten up. You can like see dents and things on it, and the mullet really adds to that level of difference. I just wish it pegged on. It just hugs the head and comes off every time you try to move it because of where that collar is situated. So Apelinq's articulation is pretty much the same as Primal's, but it does, the way that the new armor works on this old skeleton, it does kind of introduce a couple little limitations, and then there's the hair falling off. So the head, with the mullet on, it can rotate about that far that way and that far that way. It can look down, and it can't really look up. With the mullet off, you can shift the head forward to allow him to look up a bit, and then you get even more range of motion at the neck, and the collar can move. It's on a ball joint. We're going to put the hair back on. Let's see how long that stays on for. Shoulders. This shoulder can pretty much rotate for... Oh, cannon fell off. That's new. That's never happened before. Get back on there. Yeah, there we go. Shoulders can rotate. This one has this like sculpted piece back here, so it can rotate forward, and it's shaped in such a way that it allows for the arm to rotate forward, but it can only go back about that far due to the armor piece. This piece can like move as well. It's on a hinge. The shoulders can move out The arms can go out about that far. You do have bicep rotation. You have, there that goes. You have a double jointed elbow that bends that far. Let's get this stupid piece back on. And these aren't on the wrong way. This says right. This is the right side. Unless they're making it so that it's looking forward. In which case, pop this around like that. We're doing an experiment live. They still fall off at the same amount of pressure. Whatever. I will probably end up gluing those on. The torso, you got side to side motion there. You have a little bit of a back crunch and not forward because of how the armor is all sculpted here. He does have a waist joint, a peg, which by the way is not bent like Primal's, which is nice. Also, I forgot to mention the wrists are on ball joints and this panel moves. And the blades swivel. Oh my good lord. Okay. Now, the hips. They have drop-down hips, but because the crotch kind of swings underneath here, when you move the drop-down hips, it pops the crotch armor forward. And yeah, now it's just ready to come off. That's a bit annoying, but the drop-down hip, okay, that came off. Oh my god, bro, stay together. Again, pre-production, I don't know how pre-production this is, but it is pre, so I'm assuming this is not going to happen on everyone's copy of the figure. Well, I'm just gonna glue all these bits on. But the legs can go forward that far, they can go back that far, they can go out that far. You do have thigh rotation. These little bits can spin as well. You have that fell off. Bro fell off. Oh, come on. Again, pre-production, blah, blah, blah. You have double jointed knees that bend about that far. Then the ankles can go up. He has toe pivot a little bit. They cannot go down. You do have an ankle tilt and a little bit of a foot rotation. Oh, no, there we go. It was stuck. Foot rotation. Oh, and these move. So he's still pretty poseable, even though he's a little bit more limited than Primal because he's got a lot more bulk on him. Stay clipped on. That fell off the table. Bro fell off the table. Like I said, he's still pretty poseable for what he is. I like it. I'm going to be gluing all these bits on. So, yeah. Oh, this says left. Hang on. Let's just put those back the way that they're labeled, at least. There we go. These back pieces like to fall off too. I'm surprised they haven't, but yeah. And there goes the mullet. See, I'm just gonna glue it all. It's gonna all be glued. Get on. There we go.
So the big question of the day is this worth the $60 price tag? Kinda. I mean, I personally think it's a little too much. For $50, you get the AMK Pro guys, which have die-cast metallic paint, articulated hands to a degree, supremely good articulation, lights, but no base, no extremely detailed decos. Actually, that's it. The base is a massive slab of plastic. Magnets are not cheap. The amount of paint used and the dense nature of the materials sure as hell can't be cheap, but $60 and like at least no LEDs is a little bit strange to me. If this was either $5 less or came with lights in the head, I would think I'd be less upset about the price, because it's pretty good AMK all things considered. I love this figure. It looks the best out of all of them because of the paint job. It feels very nice. Obviously those pre-release parts that keep falling off all glue, but $5 less I think is what it needed. But that's my look at Yolopark's AMK Pro X Apelinq. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.